Hello everybody, name's Shalise. Welcome now everybody to my Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever review. And I gotta say this everybody, before I get into Wakanda Forever, there will be some spoilers, but before I spoil it, let me just say this. Two recent celebrities have died. And Chadwick Boseman is a combination of them in some sense. Look at Kevin Conroy, a legend, a living legend, the voice of Batman through Batman anime series to Justice League to the Batman Arkham series. He is fantastic, and may God rest his soul, and may he rest in peace. And then there is someone else who Chadwick Boseman, a fighter, a black man who was a fighter. Anthony Rumble Johnson, a UFC fighter. Used to watch some of his fights. Great guy. Sad to say he passed at the young age of 38. I think Chadwick Boseman died at least 40 years old, and it's just a damn shame when a lot of people die young. But I want to give a shout out to those two people, and I want to say rest in peace to both of them, because this life is short, but we got to appreciate every single moment. Every single pain, we have to appreciate every single lovely moment. And I think this film was a loving tribute to Chadwick Boseman. I think this movie respected the character of King T'Challa. I think this movie respected what's come before. And I don't think this was a total, pandering like the first Black Panther film was. I understand where this film was coming from. I understood where the characters were coming from. And full disclosure, the first Black Panther film I did enjoy, but the problem is, though, after different rewatches, I disliked it a bit more each and every single time, because certain things don't make sense. Why didn't Killmonger get kidnapped Claw right away is beyond me. Why is the guy from Get Out gonna suddenly betray his best friend after so many freaking years, aligned with Killmonger to destroy the few other worlds? I mean, not other worlds, other continents to take over. It's just idiotic. There's just the CGI rhino fight scene was just awful. The rhinos in general were just awful. The CGI Black Panther fight at the end was just awful. There's just a lot of scenes I did not enjoy in the first Black Panther movie, but I still enjoyed it. I thought it was an okay film. At first I loved it, but then I found it okay. And this film, Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever, I could safely say I love this film. I could safely say that I love this film because each of these characters I understand. And the thing is, though, this movie's main character is Shuri, and she's grieving for the loss of her brother. She is so heartbroken at the fact that she couldn't save her brother. Her brother was dying of a mysterious illness, and she believed the herb of the Black Panther could save her brother, but she couldn't find a duplicate to cure her brother, to save her brother's life, and she blames herself. She's not ready to forgive. She has vengeance in her heart. She has hate in her heart. She has hatred to herself. She has hatred for everything around her because she wants to see the world burn, and that's what happens when you lose a loved one. And the thing is, though, I understand Shuri's pain because her best friend was her brother. My best friend is my little sister. And if I were to lose her like Shuri did, I wouldn't want to, it would be a very, very tough time for me to get through. And I understand where Shuri's coming from. And I always loved that relationship between King T'Challa and Shuri's relationship. I always loved them, and I understand her pain. I understand where she's coming from. Angela Bassett is freaking fantastic. She does a great performance as always. She's a queen ruler, is trying to survive in Wakanda. She's trying to make sure this kingdom thrives, and it's not being taken apart by weaknesses, by other governments that are trying to steal their vibranium. And because of the fact is that King T'Challa revealed his entire country to the world, and that vibranium exists and Wakanda exists, now people are going to start attacking them to get their resources. And because of that, other nations are not happy with that. And there's one nation that is not happy. It's a Mayan Mexican tribe, and it's Namor's tribe, and he is worshipped like a god. He's hundreds of years old, and he's declaring war on the surface world. Kind of like Aquaman's brother King Orm was doing, but still, I like Namor as a villain. I understood where he's coming from. I understand he wants to preserve the right of his people, his culture. I understand completely where his character's coming from. If he has to kill the American inventor who created the thing to attract vibranium, I understand where he's coming from. I understand Shuri's why she's not willing to let innocent die. I understand exactly where each of these characters coming from, and I understand their motivations. Certain scenes, especially in the third act, did not make sense to me. There are certain scenes that, certain situations I do not agree with. Certain creative decisions I did not agree with, and some creative decisions I do agree with. But overall, I think Black Panther Wakanda Forever did what it was supposed to do. It was supposed to be a tribute to Black Panther. It was supposed to be a tribute to Chadwick Boseman. It was to show the future of Wakanda, to show that Wakanda is still strong. And I believe they did that in this movie. Now, there are some questions that are left unanswered in my opinion, and I think they need to address this in later MCU films. But hopefully, I believe this film, considering this is kind of like how I feel about the Dark Knight Rises in its case, because Christopher Nolan lost Heath Ledger, and he had to deal with he had to get Tom Hardy to do Bane. I think Dark Knight Rises, I used to hate it, but I believe he did a good job with it. And I still think the director of the first Black Panther movie did an admirable job with Black Panther 2. And I think the story is better than Black Panther 1. I enjoyed the shit out of Black Panther 2. The music, the score was epic. The action scenes were a lot better. I think the director listened to the mistakes of the past and he's fixed a lot of things. And here's the thing. People who are wondering, why didn't they recast Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther, as King T'Challa? Chadwick Boseman had such a unique look just as an actor, and to see him replaced by anybody else would be freaking tough. It's not like every single white guy. It's this not like Spartacus, where they did the Spartacus show and they replaced the actor, and some people got used to it after time. This, in a TV series, you could get used to certain things, but if you're talking about a movie and a series and an actor, I don't think they should replace him. And I'm happy that Shuri, yes, this is a spoiler, but this is kind of thing obvious, she is the Black Panther. And I do enjoy where his character was coming from. And just full disclosure also, my favorite version of King T'Challa was not his first Black Panther movie. It was not Chadwick Boseman in the Avengers movies either. My favorite moment of King T'Challa's character was him in Civil War when he forgave Baron von Zemo and when he said, "Vengeance has consumed you. I'm done letting it consume me." And Shuri has to let go of her hatred, her anger towards herself, towards everybody around her, it caused her conflict, caused her pain, and she must rise above everything she once was. I enjoyed the shit out of Black Panther 2, and I really did enjoy this movie. There's not much I could say. Namor, I understand his villain, where he's coming from. He's not as entertaining as freaking Killmonger. But the thing is, though, I understand where he's coming from. Is he going to be a total villain later on in the future? Who knows? But either way, I enjoyed the shit out of this movie. Ironheart, she was an okay character. I didn't really love her. I feel like I understood. I at least appreciate the fact they gave her reason as to why she was in the movie. There's an explanation, a good explanation as to why she was there. Do I agree about every single step they did with her character? No, but overall, I did enjoy Ironheart as a character. I think she was my least favorite of the entire bunch of this entire movie. But overall, I enjoyed the freaking hell out of Black Panther 2. And that's what I want. I got an entertainment good time. I got a movie that understood its message. And I got a movie for the most part, made sense of their lore, their stories, for the most part. There are certain things that they did in Black Panther 1, which is like, why? And Black Panther 2 is basically certain scenes like they're like, why? But overall, Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever was your personal opinion, everybody. Do you think this was a bad film? You think this was a terrible film? You think this was a great tribute to Chadwick Boseman? You think it was a snore fest? To me, I don't think I was fully entertained during the runtime. Certain scenes could have been cut down, or certain scenes could have been cut away. I think maybe out of like the 2 hour and 20-minute movie, I think maybe could have cut down 10 minutes worth to make it feel less like the pacing was a little bit off. But to me, Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever was a tribute to Chadwick Boseman, and I think it was a phenomenal tribute. And I think it's a very good film. It's a great film, in my opinion. So I would give it a grade of B+, A-. But that's my personal opinion, everybody. What y'all think of Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever? Name's Elise Garfield, everybody. Bye-bye.